Welcome to this week's Teaching Raid live stream on Saralona. This week we're doing the Reaver's Fate and Fall of Truth in Giant Hold. If you're new to these live streams, these are events that we do weekly through the winter and spring, where we take folks that are new to these raids and show them the basics, give them sort of a basic level of competency with the raid. Some of these folks are complete raid newbies. Some of them have been playing DDO for years, just never gotten into raiding, and we're showing them how it works. So trying to welcome people into the raiding scene and get people more comfortable with raids. It's been a lot of fun. This is our 4th year doing them, and it's a kind of event you have to sign up for. We post in the Saralona forum what each week's event is going to be, and you have to sign up, and pretty much every week they fill up, and I usually get about half the group, my guildies, to help out and make sure things are smooth, and then half the group filled up with newbies that are learning the raid. I'm going to take a few minutes to start inviting folks who are signed up for the event, and then we'll get started probably with the explanation of things in about 5 minutes.
That's Bolo.
And I will be following along in the live chat, but I will be mainly focused on the people that are actually signed up for the raid. But I'll be trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, I don't see him on. Oh, there he goes.
Oh.
Hey, dude.
Howdy.
Hey,
Hey,
Ziggs, welcome.
thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Allie, welcome. Zadius, welcome. Welcome back,
Hello.
Mickey.
Thanks. I'll grab my cleric for FOT after this.
All right. Hey, Vadni, welcome. There's one more person that was signed up who appears to not be on right now. I'm just going to look in the who list. See if maybe I have the name spelled wrong, but it's somebody who's attended teaching raids before. I'm pretty sure that I have it spelled right. Well, it looks like they're not on. I don't see anybody from their guild on to ask. Alright guys, I just want to let you know that we are live streaming the event tonight. Everybody here is a returning person to teaching raids, so y'all already know the deal, but just a reminder that you can ask questions at any point. and I'm really happy to have you all back to these events. I think all of you have attended multiple events in the past, and hopefully that means you've had a good time.
Most definitely.
So,
Very enjoyable.
I want to know, we're going to do Reaver's Fate first, which is the heroic raid. And I want to know, like, if there's anybody here who has never done it before, or if you've done it, like I know some of you said you've done it a few times.
I haven't done it.
Oh wow, okay, so 2 people who've never done it. That's awesome. And welcome to those watching the live stream. For those of you just tuning in, this is this week's teaching raid. We're doing Reaver's Fate and then Fall of Truth, a double feature in Giant Hold. And every week there's usually people watching that are learning along with us. So want to know, for the people that are watching the live stream, if there's anybody watching that has never done Reaver's Fate, or you're still learning, or you're watching to learn along with us. Alright, so 2 total newbies to the raid, and then 2 folks that I think have done it a few times. Very cool. So we're going to do the heroic one first, which is Reaver's Fate, and then we'll do the epic one after that, which is Fall of Truth. There aren't really any special preparations that you need for Reaver's Fate. This is a pretty, this is going to be a pretty easy raid for us. Go ahead and step in, and I'll start explaining how things work. And I want you to step past, there's a little like crease in the floor, like a line. You want to be right about where I am, because there's a lockout mechanism here. There's a barrier that'll come up, so you need to be, past the line that's right behind me. And that barrier is kind of a funny thing, will actually drain your spell points, so you don't ever want to hang out near that barrier once things get started. You will lose your hit points really quickly. So you can see the Storm Reaver over there, and so he's the boss. And this is just basically a very simple kind of beatdown kind of a raid, with just a couple mechanics that you need to be aware of. So it's just not just beat them down and it's over. There are a couple of things that you got to do in order to complete the raid, and it's not the kind of raid that if you were just to come in here on your own without knowing how the raid worked, you probably would not succeed. I can pretty much guarantee you wouldn't succeed the first time. It's not hard. It's just that, like I said, there's a couple of things you got to know how it works. So when we step forward, the Storm Reaver will activate, and he does this like anti-gravity move where he's just going to throw us up towards the ceiling. And if you look up, it's kind of hard to see from here, but if you maybe move to the side a little bit, you can see there's a hole in the ceiling up there. Actually, you can see it pretty well from here. And when we get tossed up, it's very easy for us to get sort of deflected into that. There are sort of like bumps and things in the ceiling that can make us just lose control, and we can fly into the center, and there's spikes in there. And those spikes can hurt pretty badly. Now, everybody here has a decent amount of hit points, so probably not going to be an issue. But if you're doing this at level, like we've already done this a couple times, like on Reaper mode, like at level 14, and this would be like level 16 if you're doing it for like elite streaking. Those spikes can definitely hurt. And here's the thing: there's a unique death mechanism that when you die in here, you get sent to the penalty box, and you can't be raised by normal means. If you look up to the right on the wall, you'll see there's like a blue barrier with some of the Easter Island heads in there. That's the penalty box. So the people are dead, their soul stones get thrown in there, and they can sort of watch what's happening, but they can't participate. So it's very important that you try not to die in this raid. There is a way to get people out of there, but it's rather convoluted. It's not just it's not a simple process to get people out, and a lot of times you don't really have time to do that, and typically you would only go up and get people out if it was like an emergency situation. So to avoid getting tossed up into the ceiling, even with, you know, us having a lot of hit points, we're just going to fight the Storm Reaver like off to the side, like off to the left here. Like basically right around the left pillar from us, and hold them against the wall. And generally speaking, you want to stay out of the center of the zone, so that when he does his anti-gravity move, you don't get tossed up in there. While we are fighting the Storm Reaver, you're going to notice that you get a buff called like a static charge, and it's going to be like... Oh, and by the way, guys, there's a couple... We have just 9 people watching right now, and usually there's not more than about 20 or 30. We have a couple people that are first-timers to us, that they're learning along with us. Very cool. So you're going to get this buff, like a static charge, and it's going to be like minor and lesser and greater and major. And each time he hits you with like this electrical thing, you're going to get, it's going to go up to the next tier. And when you get the major static charge, your spell points will regenerate really fast, like 200 per tick or something like that, or 150 or 250 or something. And so it basically becomes, you know, for casters, you know, you can spam your, if you know how that mechanism works, you can spam your spells and not worry about your spell points. If you get hit by his little electrical thing again, when you already have the major charge, though, it sort of resets it, and you got to build it back up. Also, while we are fighting him, he's going to shoot these like electrical charges up into the ceiling. Now, if you look up, you're going to see 9 like orbs. Some of them are have skulls in the middle of them, and some of them just sort of have big orbs in the middle of them. It's actually, you can only see like 8 of them or 7 of them from here. In any event, the little static charges there, the electrical charges that he shoots up, and it'll look like a ball that will just slowly move up to, and it will hit those orbs. And when it hits the orbs start spinning. You can see they're just sort of rotating very, very slowly right now, but they'll spin really fast when they get hit by the electricity. And we need to get all 9 of those orbs spinning or lit, and in order for us to be able to complete the raid. It's very, very important that we don't kill the Storm Reaver. If we killed the Storm Reaver too early, we fail the raid. Period. There'll be no way to complete. And what's going to happen is, once all of these orbs are lit or spinning, he's going to start casting fly spells on us, or somehow his like, you know, electrical charges is giving us fly. And it's kind of neat. It's like one of the only quests in the game where you can actually fly, and you get it for like 2.5 minutes. And before the Reaver is killed, somebody that gets fly has to fly up through that ceiling up there in that middle. And then there's sort of like a maze of spikes up there. You're flying through like a maze of spikes. You need to be really careful. And like I say, if you have lower hit points, it becomes very scary. If you have a lot of hit points, you have evasion, no big deal. When you go up there, you can either go to the east or to the west. To the west is you fly through a little maze. It's a simple maze of spikes. It's not like you're going to get lost, but if you didn't know your way around, you could get turned around, and, you know, like I said, the fly only lasts like 2.5 minutes, so you can get stuck up there. But at the end of the hall, basically, or the end of the simple maze of spikes, there's a room with a lever, and that's the kill lever. And that you pull that lever, and that's like, once you pull that lever, it's safe to kill the Storm Reaver. If you kill the Storm Reaver and that lever doesn't get pulled, then the barrier to get to the puzzle room, which is to the left, you can see there's a blue barrier in the west to the left. If you kill the Storm Reaver without pulling the kill lever, that barrier will not come down. Now, some of you have done this raid a couple of times, and if you did it years ago, you used to be able to use a bell of opening if if the kill lever wasn't pulled. But that trick has not worked in a long time. You got to pull the kill lever. Now, if you go up and you go to the east, it's a maze of spikes, and there's another room with a lever, and the new mistake that happens here is people will fly up and go to the wrong room, pull that lever, and say, okay, it's okay to kill. And they're pulling the wrong lever. The lever up to the east lets the soul stones out of the penalty box. So that's how you get people out if they die, is somebody has to fly up to the east. And the fly is so short, you can't possibly go up and do the west kill lever and then go back and do the east. You would have to have a separate casting of fly on you. It takes that long to get from, one end and then back. But you can fly up and pull the kill lever and then fly back as long as you're quick about it. If you're quick about it, you'll still have like 30-40 seconds of fly left. And you can fly up to the east, pull the lever to let the soul stones out, and fly back. Again, if you're quick about it, you'll have plenty of time to do that. I'm not expecting anybody to die, but of course, want you guys to be aware of how that mechanic works. I've definitely been in raids where, I needed to either go up there myself or send somebody up to let people out. You're doing this at level, it can be pretty serious. It can be pretty challenging. So once all 9 orbs are lit, we fly up to the west, through the spikes, pull the kill lever, then it's safe to kill the Storm Reaver. Then once the Storm Reaver is killed, we go through the west barrier over there, and then there's just another big room, and there's a puzzle. And the puzzle is like the old Mastermind board game, or electronic game. And I can't explain to you how it works exactly. It's just like you have to guess combinations, and then it gives you clues. But I'm going to give you a link to a solver. I'm going to get that link for you right now. I'm going to put the link in the live stream. Hey, Tiny. Is that Sly?
If you're in here at level, it's also really nice to have a caster who can cast the Dancing Spear, because there's going to be a lot of air elementals that are going to spawn, and if you don't deal with those, they can push you right to the center, blow you down, and then you go to the center and basically get killed.
Big time. Yeah, I need to mention how that mechanic works. I put it in the live stream too, guys, but here there's the solver. If you guys done TG raid, you guys all done TG raids before, so you probably already have that link. But if you don't have it, you need to bookmark that. And if you don't know that, you can actually copy and paste right in DDO. You just highlight it, and then you hit Control-C to copy, and then you go into your browser and hit Control-V as in Victor to paste it. That's the same as any Windows application. Control-C as in copy, Control-V as in Victor to paste. And if you go to that link and you click on the Reaver tab, you'll see that like the combinations are sort of in the upper left, and this puzzle solver just sends you through an algorithm. And I think what I'm going to do is probably just sort of explain it as I go when I'm doing the puzzle, as opposed to trying to explain it now. But it shows you what the first one you're supposed to enter in, which is 1122, and they're color-coded too for people that... Actually, they used to be just color-coded, and they added the numbers later for people who were colorblind. But anyways, that's the starting combination for this algorithm, and then you enter the clues where it says white and black. There are like these little lights that are going to light up, and depending on the number of white and black lights that light up, that's what you put in those boxes, and then it would give you the next combination. And like I said, I'll talk us through it when we're doing it. So like Vanna said, periodically while we're fighting the Storm Reaver, air elementals are going to spawn. And they spawn when the Storm Reaver shoots his electrical charge up to hit the orbs. It's the corner orbs, when they get hit by the electrical charge, that's what spawns air elementals, and it'll spawn them like under that particular orb. But then they're going to all, fly over to us and, knock us all around everywhere. And like you said, it can knock you out into the middle. And then if you get tossed up when you're out there, you get thrown into the spikes, and that can be really painful, etc., etc. So sometimes you want to have people assigned to killing the air elementals, especially if you're doing this at level. Like we did this on Reaper at Reaper 3, and it was a huge challenge. I mean, we just had a few people, and then we did it, with 10, and it's tough stuff when you're doing this at like level 14. But I do want you to know that this raid is very soloable. So if you're looking for loot from this raid, you can easily bring your 30 in here and just smoke it. As long as I'm going to show you the basics. Up that the orbs need to be lit. That you need to fly up to the west and get the kill lever, then fly back down, then kill the Storm Reaver, and then go over and do the puzzle. So if you know all of those things, you can very easily solo this, even if pretty much any epic tune, because it's only a level 16 on Elite. Also, this is a timed raid. It is 20 minutes, and there is basically like an abacus kind of a countdown set of runes on the wall. And so it's like I believe it's like a base 9 countdown system. And so you'll see like columns counting down, and when the one column disappears, it pulls a rune off of that column and fills up the like the ones place basically. And when that counts down, it pulls another one from I guess it would be the nines place. In any event, I'll point that out once it gets started, but the timer hasn't started yet. It starts once we step forward and activate the Storm Reaver. So the nutshell version is we beat the Storm Reaver down. We cannot kill him. Don't take him down beyond about 20%. We're going to have way more DPS than is needed. So we just take him down to about 20%, 25% even. Wait for all the orbs to be lit. Wait for someone to fly up, get the kill lever in the west. Then we kill him, then we do the puzzle, then we win. Any questions? Slime Menstra is watching, by the way, guys. Okay, let's do it. Everybody's going to step forward and go to the left wall. I'm just going to grab the Storm Reaver. Look on the north wall too, and you'll see the countdown. Yeah, there are 9 places in each of those runes, so it's like a base 9 countdown system. So if you're watching the live stream, well, I guess I can say for both the live stream and the folks in here. So you can see like the right column is counting down. When the right column is count down all the way, then it pulls a rune from the next column over. And it keeps doing that, and then when the next column over is empty, then it pulls a rune, from over here. See how we've already got him down to 75% health. I forgot to throw boss. Okay, let's just stop DPS, guys. Let's just totally stop DPS. Make sure Warlock auras are off. We want to make sure that we do not kill him too soon. So now we just stand around and wait. This raid used to affectionately be called Piker's Fate because there was a lot of standing around and waiting. Remember, don't stand by the blue barrier because that can drain your spell points. And when he sends his charge up and he lights the corner orbs, that's going to spawn air elementals. Notice that he's sending a charge up now. Oh, it looked like he was, and then it disappeared. This is the ultimate piking spot right, where'd it go? Oh, right here. Oh, I missed it. There's an ultimate piking spot up there. You can get on top of that head. See the light going up, the electricity going up, and it's going to light the orb in the north, middle. Oh no, and then in the northwest. So that's a corner orb. Now it's going to spawn air elementals. Be very careful not to use like chain shape and other stuff that's going to hit the Reaver. We want to make sure that we do not kill the Reaver prematurely. See how easy we're smoking this? So like even if you're not comfortable soloing this, if it's just you and a friend or you and a couple guildies, like I said, you guys can easily bring your epic tunes in here and, you know, do it every 3 days and farm for whatever gear you want. We got 20 people watching now. Welcome to those that are tuning in late.
So there's nothing you need to do to position him under a particular ball in the ceiling or anything?
No, you know, I remember when I was a newbie, I remember somebody saying that there was a way to get him to light certain orbs, but I don't think that's the case. I never heard anybody talking about it since then. I've never read anything like that. As far as I know, it's just random, and sometimes it takes a long time for him to light the correct orbs, and you waste a lot of time. So it's kind of a crappy mechanism in that sense. By the way, if the time runs out, the whole place explodes, and it just shoots us right out of the raid. So if you look up, you'll see that looks like we have 2 more orbs that need to be lit. So we got 7 lit already. That's pretty good. We haven't been here that long. Hey, Prince Noob Sauce, welcome to the live stream. So we're gonna do Fall of Truth next. What's really embarrassing is I'm not even sure if I have a tune flagged. I think I do, but I'm not positive because I've TR'd both Voodoo and Ginger Spice at the same time, which I try to never do. And like Ginger Spice is a level 3 Dragonborn right now, and Voodoo is only level 19. So I'm hoping one of my other tunes is flagged for Fall of Truth. It'd be really embarrassing if I'm hosting a teaching raid for Fall of Truth and I can't even enter it. Yes, yes, Ham. All of those orbs need to be lit. And so the Storm Reaver periodically will send up the ball of lightning, and when it hits that orb, like see how it's going up right now, and it looks like it's going to light that far middle one, which we need. Once all 9 are lit, then he's going to start, well, I'll show the live streamers, see like he can get tossed up into these spikes. And they're pretty painful. So you want to, come back down. But, you know, if you're doing this at level, that can take people right out. What'd you say?
Oh, I said 1 more to go.
Yep. Scott, if you kill the Storm Reaver too early, you cannot complete the raid. You have to fly up, and there's a kill lever that you got to pull up through the ceiling, and that's what will bring this barrier down. If you kill the Storm Reaver and that kill lever isn't pulled, this barrier will never come down. You can't progress to complete the raid. There's a puzzle on the other side of that barrier that needs to be done. If you get fly, oh, we got air elementals coming in. If you get fly, you're welcome to fly up and look around up there. I'm gonna go do the kill lever myself though, because I want the live streamers to see it. And this live stream video will be on my YouTube channel, which, you know, if you want to watch it later to see, you know, flying through those spikes and what that's like, you can do that. Okay, I think he's... No, we still got 1 more. So sometimes the lightning ball that he sends up just lights the same ones that's already lit, or hits the ones that's already lit. Let's make sure we don't do any more DPS to him, guys. I see he's still taking damage and he's getting kind of low, and he actually will disappear when he gets down to about 5%. So let's make sure we have any guards on. I can see he's still taking damage. So if you're a warlock, turn your aura off. Turn your damaging aura off, please. Here's the ultimate piking spot right here. You can just like hide up here. I can see you guys found the ultimate piking spot. You scamps. Taser, someone wants to know what enhancement tree you're using. Okay, it looks like he's gonna light the final orb.
I'm mostly using Deepwood Stalker.
Mostly Deepwood Stalker. Thank you. Alright, the final orb's lit. That was a corner one, so we got air elementals. If you get close to the Storm Reaver and do not kill him, do not do any damage to him, but he is going to start casting fly on us. So I want, if you're new to this, I want you to get around him right now, and I want you to experience what that's like. It's just like when you get fly, like in Reaver's Refuge from the giant there. Like I said, if you get fly, you can fly up and fly around up there and see what it's like. But we can't really afford to do any more damage to him. Holy crap, Albion just logged in.
Oh, wow.
It looks like somebody's got fly.
Thought I'm the first one to get it. So should I pull the lever?
Oh, did you... If you want to fly to the west and get that lever, yeah, go for it. I wanted to show it on the live stream, but he doesn't want to give me fly.
Do I need to fly back, or is this barrier in here the open up that I can get down?
Oh, I got it.
He went to the penalty box side.
No, I'm looking at the final puzzle.
You're looking at the
is he
final
there?
puzzle, really. I almost went up
And
the
the
wrong way.
taser.
No, yeah, they are.
So you
Yeah,
fly
no,
up
we're
here,
good.
avoid the spikes.
Yeah, the only way back out though would have been the fly back out. Now we
But
just
this
have to
barrier
wait till
opens,
it's over.
so right? We can get down after?
Yeah, when it's all done, we'll get out of here.
Did you run it? You can fly back.
I
You
got
guys
thrown
are
up
here.
here. I never had fly.
Oh, you got oh, I didn't know you could make it over here if you just got tossed up. I thought that there would be barriers in the way.
Yeah, no, I got tossed and it threw me all the way to the west. I got lucky though. Sometimes go to the east.
Yeah, so you guys are stuck up there. Well, it's good to know. So you can actually pull it before you get fly then.
Yep,
ahead and-
for sure.
Go ahead and kill the Reaver, guys. The kill lever has been pulled. Kill, kill, kill. Okay, now we're going to the west up the stairs. Looks like we have plenty of time left. I'm going to enter the first combination that the puzzle solver tells us to, which is 1122. There's going to be trash air elementals that spawn when we enter it wrong, so please kill trash. So you enter 1122 by flipping these skulls, and then you pull the lever over here to register that combination, and you'll see there are lights in the upper left, and there's 2 white ones. You enter 2 white and 0 black, into the solver and it'll tell you what the next combination is. Live streamers, that's the solver I'm using. So with 2 whites and 0 black, it says the next combination to try is 2355. So I dial up 2355, and then I pull the lever to register that combination, and I get 1 white and 0 black. Having entered 1 white and 0 black into the solver, it says the next combination to try is 1266. Dialed in 1266, pull the lever, it says 1 white, 0 black. And it says the next combination to try is 1511. One 1511 is dialed up, pull the lever to register it. We have 2 black, 0 white. Okay, it says the next move is going to solve our puzzle, 3411. Dialed up 3411, pull the lever, and the raid is complete. And that's all, guys. Anybody have questions about any parts of this raid?
If you, whatever reason, messed up, do you only get 10 tries?
Yep, you only get 10 tries and that's it. And by the way, what these lights mean is when there's a white light, for every white light, it means you have a correct number, but it's not in the right location. If you have a black light, for every black light, that means you have a correct number in the correct location. So if you're actually trying to figure this out using logic, you can use those clues. And like I said, it's like the mastermind game. So if you know how that works, like people who like that game and know how that game works, they don't even need to use a solver. But I never really played that game, and just to be safe, I just use the solver. Good luck on your loot. Just go back to the main chamber. You get 3 junk chests and then 1 named. Okay, I got the Madstone shield. This is made of crystal, so druids can use it. D50 on the shield. All of the named items in this raid have 1 upgrade, and you upgrade it using a seal of the Storm Reaver, which comes from this raid as well. Any questions on the live streams? On live streamers, any questions before we move on to the next one? Why am I using it? It's just a caster stick is all. It was actually a mistake when I was doing a gnome life. I used a pick because I was thinking the gnomes were proficient in pick, or light pick, but they're proficient in light hammer. It doesn't matter though, because it's just a caster stick anyways. It's just something to swing. It doesn't matter. Looks like Thaddeus is the only one rolling on the Madstone shield. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, Gauntlets of Eternity too. Those used to be a really nice item for healers back in the day. They don't hold up to time very well, but
Thank you.
okay, guys, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and recall out, and then we're going to do the epic raid, which is Fall of Truth. It's the same entrance, but go ahead and take a few minutes if you need to bio break or grab a drink or something. I actually need to switch tunes because that's the epic raid, and this tune's only level 19. So, Bolo, can I give you the star?
Sure thing.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh no, I'm okay on the gloves. I have.
Yeah, the next one is you have to kill it's actually 4 pairs of giants and dragons. There's like 3 like side pairs, and then the final pair, which is the Storm Reaver and the Truthful one. I'm not actually a Spice Girl fan. So the story behind the Spice Girl tune names was that I mean, I don't dislike them. My tunes aren't named after Spice Girls because I'm a fan. There was when I started playing DDO years ago, the girl I was dating, who was a little younger than me, she was a Spice Girls fan. Or she was in high school or whatever when they were popular. And I remember when we were living together, she was talking about like the Spice Girls were having a reunion tour. This was like in 2009, and so it was like just conversation in the house. And I was making a new tune one night, and I was like, oh, it'll be funny to name a tune Sporty Spice. And I thought, it'll get a bunch of laughs, and it did, and you got a bunch of laughs in Guild, and it was the subject of many jokes, and that was really awesome. And then I just sort of kept up with that theme. All right, now I got to see if I'm flagged. So yeah, here I am 7 years later, and everybody knows me as Ginger Spice. Hey, I don't think I'm flagged on this tune. No. Yeah, I haven't completed. Alright, I'm gonna try Sporty. Twitch, I believe that so it's only, I think it's only heroic green steel items that you can do that to. You have to be at the final altar, I believe, to do that. The altar of devastation in part 5 of the Shroud, or you can do it. Oh, decon at the altar in Meridia. Okay, thank you, Tiny. I'm not sure. Like I remember doing it once years ago, but plus, some people have green steel crafting devices on their guild ship. So if you can find somebody that has that, it's got to be either the altar of devastation, which is the part 5 altar, or the basic altar, which is in the basement of the Meridia. It's called the altar of fecundity. So altar of devastation or altar of fecundity. Try that. But you should just be able to put the dopant and the heroic green steel into the altar, and it'll deconstruct it into its constituent parts. You won't get them all back, but you'll get a bunch back. This tune is flagged. That would have been embarrassing if I didn't have a flagged tune for my own teaching raid. Thank you. Who else did we lose besides... Wait, who did we lose?
Vanna wasn't flagged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vanna said he didn't have anybody flagged for it.
But we were a full group, so we lost somebody else too.
No, we only had 11.
Really?
Yeah. You were looking for the last person. They weren't online.
That's
remember?
right.
Aye. And they put you in charge. I tell you.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I just figure that out. Okay, sorry for the delay. I found a flag tune. This is a completely different raid. But it has the same entrance. Let me see if the other person is on. Actually, and there was another person too that wanted a spot. Just in case there was space. I didn't think we had one, but let's see. Hey, Renar, welcome. We just got done with Reaver's Fate, and we're going to do Fall of Truth now. And by the way, folks, a little bit of DDO trivia for you. Or lore, if you will. In House P, there's the Live Wood Theater there. Like when you go in, it's on to the right, like behind where Small Problem is and Gwill and Stand. There's a reenactment of the Fall of Truth there, like a reenactment, like we have the what's his name, Brompitz? Yeah, and the wolf or whatever are reenacting the Fall of Truth, this story. So you can, if you've never gone and watched that, after you're done doing the raid, sometime you can go to House P and watch the reenactment of the Fall of Truth. But it's the story of the Storm Reaver being betrayed by the Truthful One. And the Truthful One is the Draco Lich boss of this raid. So we don't really need any special preparation. Back in the day, when the level cap was 25 and this first came out, having the Energy Sheath electric version was really helpful. Electrical absorption can be helpful too. Just to have an electrical absorption item is definitely. You should probably always have that situationally, anyways. There's not really anything else though. And I think we're just gonna do hard. Like, I'm pretty sure we could do elite, but there's death timers, and I don't want the folks that are new to the raid. I don't want you spending time being dead. It's like a 1.5-minute death timer, and so I want you to be able to participate. But when we've done normal in the past, and it was just way too easy. Even as a teaching raid, it's just ridiculously easy. So let's go ahead and do hard. Again, the same entrance.
You can pause your streaks if you need to.
Oh yeah, good point. And when you step in, like, it looks like it's the same raid, but once we step forward, the whole floor is actually going to fall out into a bigger chamber below. Okay, Twitch, it's got to be the Altar of Devastation and Shroud Part 5. So like I said, if you can't get to that conveniently, find somebody that has a guild ship with the green steel crafting hall in it, and you can just do it there. Yeah, if you've never done it. So who here has never done the Fall of Truth before, or if you've done it like a couple of times and are still learning? And I also want to know, for the people that are watching the live stream,
been in it once, didn't complete.
for the people that are watching the live stream, I want to know if any of you like have never done Fall of Truth before, or if you're still learning. So we've got some folks in the live stream that are learning with us too, which is very cool. So 3 nevers, and 1 person did it twice, and 1 person tried and died by lag. Okay. Lag's not usually an issue in here, but it definitely can be occasionally. So this is a raid that can be challenging or frustrating, might be a better word, to pug, because it does require some coordination. And if people aren't listening and aren't paying attention and aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, this raid can be incompletable. Because, well, it's kind of like, everybody here had to do Giant Hold Tour to flag for Reaver's Fate, and then you had to do the Epic one to flag for this. But actually, you know what? You don't have to do the dragons anymore. So, is there anybody here who has never done the dragons in Tor before? Okay, so this raid is kind of like all of Tor in one room. So like in Tor, you've got the 3 different hallways. After you complete, you got the optionals and the 3 dragons and giant pairs, and you got to kill them at the same time. That's how this is. There's 3 dragons and 3 giant pairs, and they each have to go down at the same time, each pair. So there's like and the pairs have names. There's like the lies pair, there's the confused pair, there's the silence pair. And so what we're going to be doing is like isolating those pairs out, prepping those pairs, and then killing them together. And then we'll get them and we'll do them in a certain order, and I'll tell you which ones we're supposed to be working on. And after we kill the first one, the second pair, we'll pull them over and prep them, kill them at the same time. It's about a 10-second kill window. If you don't kill them within that 10-second kill window, they just regenerate to full. And so that's the thing. If people are like killing out of order and they just keep regenerating to full, and people just can't get their shit together, this raid becomes incompletable because it just goes on forever. So it'd be really, really frustrating, and all it takes is one person who's not listening, who's just killing all willy-nilly, and it just screws everything up. So like I said, this can be really frustrating and go on forever in a pug. But by today's standards, people have so much DPS, especially if you're not doing it on Elite. I mean, if you just have a couple ballers in there, they're going to be able to kill this stuff really, really fast, and usually can. The players that know what they're doing will sort of monitor on their own who needs more work and others. Just use their baller DPS to even things out. But you don't always get lucky and have enough people that know what they're doing. And like I said, the raid can just go on forever if people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we're going to have 3 pairs of giants and dragons to kill in sequence at the same time. And once those 3 pairs are killed, then there's going to be the Doomsday device, the device we activated in the previous raid. It was like, I don't know if you noticed it, but in the puzzle room there was like this big red crystal that had like skeletons hanging from it. It was dangling from the ceiling by chains. Well, that's in here too. It's going to be way up there in the middle, floating. And after we kill the first 3 pairs of giants and dragons, then we need to kill that crystal. So you just use ranged weapons or spells or whatever. Shoot at it. And then once that is killed, then the Storm Reaver and the Truthful One need to be taken down, prepped, and then killed within that same 10-second window. So the Truthful One, like I said, is a Dracolich, and at first he's just going to be sort of flying around, and we're not going to have to deal with him. After the first pair is killed, then the Truthful One's going to land, and then we're going to have to deal with him, and that's when you want to have a tank pull him away from the rest of the party while the party finishes up the dragon and giant pairs. It's also good to have people assigned to trash. It's good to have like a couple of people assigned to trash duty. There's going to be like wraiths, I think, or weeps, and yeah, wraiths and weeps maybe, and then like air elementals. And I think it's the wraiths. They have this. It might be all the trash, or it might be just the wraiths. I'm not sure, but they have this ability where so they can sort of sacrifice themselves into like a big, like electrical discharge, and they can do massive amounts of electrical damage. So the point is, when trash starts to build up, it can be really scary. Also, the dragon's breath can be pretty intense too. And here's something that even a lot of people that have done this raid for a long time don't know. That the dragons, when you get hit, the number of people that get hit by their breath attack determines the amount of trash that spawns. So if you're not tanking a dragon, you should be attacking a dragon like from the side or from the back. And then, that's generally good advice for any kind of a boss. Like if you're not the tank, you shouldn't be in front of it anyways. But in here, it's really important because if you're fighting the dragon from the front and you get hit by the dragon breath, that's going to spawn additional trash. The pairs also have some special abilities, like the confused pair does like this confusion effect, and it makes your spells have longer cooldown, and one of them does like dancing balls, and they can put like dancing balls all over the place, and that can be really irritating. And this is important to know in case you don't know. There are ways to get rid of dancing balls and other AoEs like that. You can use like Gust of Wind, for example. Druids have that. You can get the little staff out of Three Barrel Cove to blow those out. You can also use Break Enchantment to get rid of dancing balls. But you can use Gust of Wind not only to get rid of dancing balls, but other AoEs like, ice storms and sleet storms, and even like blade barriers. You wouldn't think you'd be able to blow out a blade barrier, but you can. Somebody in the chat is saying Cyclonic Blast works too. That's not a spell that I have any experience with, but there you go. So once the first pair is dead, the tank is going to take the Truthful One away. And he's just going to hold the Truthful One away from the rest of the party while the party kills the pairs. We have a couple of people working on trash. And the Storm Reaver is actually fighting for us at first. He's a good guy. But then at the end, once all the pairs are dead and the crystal's dead, the Truthful One will charm the Storm Reaver, and then he'll be fighting against us. So we're actually going to have a separate Storm Reaver tank at that point. And the Storm Reaver tank job, well, the biggest qualification for being a Storm Reaver tank is to have electrical absorption. The Storm Reaver does this special move called the Boom. And the Boom it puts like a cloud on you. Like it looks like a little storm cloud with a little lightning shooting out of it around you. And that is contagious. If you ever get the Boom, you should run away from anybody else near you. You can look at the map and look at the other blue dots. Just get away from anybody else, because you're gonna if you get near other people and you have the Boom, you're gonna give it to them. And if you have the Boom, then every like 10 seconds a lightning bolt will strike from the sky and hit you, and does a lot of damage. And so that's where your electrical absorption becomes really important. And you can see situations where like somebody gets the Boom, runs over to the party, now everybody has it, and everybody's getting hit by lightning bolts, and it can be a really tough thing to lose when everybody has it. And things can get really, really messy when that boom gets spread around like that. So the tank needs to be able to survive the boom and also keep the Storm Reaver faced away from everybody else, like in a cubby just far away. And so what we're going to, at that point in the raid, we're going to have the Storm Reaver like in one corner, and then the Truthful One sort of in another corner, with the tank holding them and everybody beating the Truthful One from behind. And then once the Truthful One gets beat down to about 70% health, then he's going to resurrect the 3 dragons that we already killed, and they'll be like undead versions of those dragons that we have to deal with. Now, I think most pugs just have somebody assigned to kite them around. And that's fine, because they don't have to die in order to complete the raid. They just sort of are there to sort of screw things up. One more thing to deal with. In High Lords, we actually like to kill them. And the reason why we like to kill them is because if things start to go wrong, if they're out of the way, it's one less thing to deal with. Like on Epic Elite, if you're doing it shorthanded or you got some people a little bit squishier, there are little things that can go wrong. The boom starts getting passed around. One of the tanks dies. The Truthful One starts blasting everybody with his fire breath. The Truthful One does fire breath and electrical as well, and that can be pretty painful, especially if the Truthful One gets loose. Tank goes down. The Truthful One starts blasting people. They could take some people out. You start having like 4 or 5 people dead, and then let's say the kiter of the undead dragons goes down, and they're running around everywhere. Things can get out of hand. So like I said, just to sort of take that variable out, and when we do it in our guild raids, we like to kill the undead dragons. So when they spawn, everybody will peel off the Truthful One except the tank, and you'll kill the undead dragons. We're going to have one person assigned to sort of hold their aggro, while the rest of the party kills them in a certain order. So you'll sort of peel them off, peel the undead dragons off of that kiter or that tank one at a time, and just kill them one at a time. And then once they're all 3 dead, you're going to go back to the Truthful One. And we're going to prep the Truthful One and the Storm Reaver, and then kill them at the same time. The Storm Reaver has a lot less hit points than a Truthful One, and if you have a tank with decent DPS, that tank can single-handedly prep the Storm Reaver. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on this tune, but we'll see. Kind of depends on how good this party's DPS is too. But if I do need help, if the Storm Reaver tank needs help DPSing, you want to do ranged DPS support only. You don't want to send melees over there to get the boom. You just want to do like ranged DPS, and you want to do light range DPS. You don't want people like fury shotting the Storm Reaver at that point if you're just prepping, because you don't want like anybody to grab the Storm Reaver's aggro and have the Storm Reaver run across the arena and start passing the boom out to everybody. That's one of the ways things can really get screwed up. You just want to do light range DPS just to whittle the Storm Reaver down a little bit if the Storm Reaver tank asks for it. Never run over there in melee, and never start fury shotting or doing anything that could pull aggro away. Let's see. I think that sums it up. So the nutshell version is prep and kill 3 pairs of dragons in a certain order, kill the crystal, and then prep and kill the Storm Reaver and the Truthful One at the end. While we're prepping them, the undead dragons will spawn. We'll peel off the Truthful One, kill those, go back to Truthful One, continue prepping them, kill the Storm Reaver and the Truthful One, then we win. Any questions?
There's a lot of electric damage going around. Should I not be using a Lit 2 weapon in here?
Well, that's a good question. So, the Truthful One, I believe, is immune to electricity. He's a Lich, Dracolich. And the blue dragon is immune to electricity. Maybe even the giant parrot to that too. So it's not that you can't use it. It's just there are gonna be some mobs that it's not gonna be an effect. You can actually the Truthful One's gonna be like the main mob too, and that's not gonna do a whole lot to him. So Definitely probably want to use a different weapon for those mobs. Bolo, you're going to tank the truthful one for us?
Sure thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Renar, are you a ranged tune? I can't really tell. Looks like you might have weapons on. I think I'll just put a couple of warlocks on trash duty. So Wooter and Intrepid Bear, I'm gonna put you girls on trash. I need somebody that can kite the baby or the undead dragons when they come out. Somebody from High Lords that knows that job. Actually, Mickey, you can do it. Or no, yeah, Mickey, you can do it, okay?
Okay.
Okay, cool, thank you. Okay, so our truthful one tank is going to be Bolo. I will be the Reaver tank. Our trash crew is going to be Wooter and Intrepid Bear. Mickey is going to kite the baby dragon. So when we get to that point, the different groups are going to be set up like a triangle. Okay. The truthful one and the truthful one tank will be at one point of the triangle. The Reaver and the Reaver tank will be at another point of the triangle, and then the undead dragons and the DPS group will be at the other point of the triangle. And the point is keeping everything as far away from everything else as possible. You know, you don't want people to get near the Storm Reaver to get the boom. You don't want people near the truthful one to get, hit by him. Just keeping things separate and compartmentalized is going to be helpful, just so that, things don't get tangled up. Yeah, so if you get the boom, I'm glad you said that. You can use spell absorption item to negate the electrical damage that you're going to get. Electrical absorption is going to be huge. I should see if I have some. I'm sure I do, but I don't normally play this tune, so I don't know where everything is.
Don't tell us that's your problem.
I know, right? Okay. Any questions before we get started?
So the last part, lies, confusion, silence, that's the order we kill the pairs.
Oh yes, thank you. So our trash people are going to be Wooter and Intrepid, and the undead dragons, the kiters, are going to be Mickey, and then we're going to kill the pairs. We're going to kill the lies pair first. We prep them and then kill them together. Don't kill unless the order is given. Then the confused pair, and then the silence pair. And so when we move in, we're going to move to the right wall, and we're going to wait for a dialogue to happen. The floor is going to drop out, and we're going to keep running to the east. And if we do this right, by being far in the east, we'll only aggro the mobs that we want. But sometimes you just aggro everything, and there's the new aggro mechanics. Maybe you're all aware of that. The aggro mechanics changed maybe a month or two ago, and so that seems like it might be causing more stuff to aggro on us than we intend. In any event, it can definitely happen either way, that like everything might aggro on us, and that becomes just a giant mess. So since the truthful one isn't active right away, the truthful one doesn't become active until after the first pair is dropped. One of the things you can have the truthful one tank do is pull the other pairs that we're not working on away from the party. They're already a tank, so they can handle mobs like that and just hold them while the party kills the first pair, which is the lies pair. So Bolo, if that happens, if we get a bunch of aggro, I'm going to be looking to you to pull that shit away while we're working on the lies pair, okay?
Alright.
Cool. Okay, guys, go ahead and move in to the right, and you turn your DM volume up if you want to hear the dialogue. We'll line up against the wall and we'll do buffs. Maybe about a minute or two of dialogue, and you're going to see the truthful one come in, and he and the Storm Reaver are going to exchange words. What's kind of funny is when you come in here by yourself, this is a soloable raid. It's a nice challenge to solo, but it's doable. I've only soloed it on normal. I've duoed it on Epic Elite, though. But when you come in here alone, he says you are brave to come in here all by yourself. It's just kind of funny that they changed the dialogue when you come in here alone. Am I using ultimatum? Yes. This is not a tune I'm very serious about. It's just sort of like a tank healer with supportive casting DPS. But I haven't spent a lot of time, trying to perfect her and stuff. Just sort of, back in the day when healers were more necessary, this was a tune that I would, pull off the shelf when we needed a healer for a raid kind of thing, or we needed a tank. But she's her tanking ability, like I couldn't take her in against like the Epic Elite Fire and Thunder Peak Dragons. It'd probably be a little bit too tough. Maybe. It'd probably borderline with this tune. There's the truthful one. This was a really tough raid when it first came out and level cap was 25. So when dialogue's over, we're going to run to the east into the wall. That's right, right here. But not yet. I'll tell you when. You can watch the middle now. See the truthful one fly up there. Okay, run to the east. Run to the east. Everybody run to the east. Keep pushing to the east into the cubby. We're going to do the lies pair first. We got the confusion guy coming over, so Bolo, if you could pull the confusion dragon away. And we got the white dragon is the lies dragon. So you can start working on the lies dragon. And Bjorn the liar, that's the giant of the pair. He's over here too. Remember, you don't want to get hit by the dragon breath because that'll cause trash to spawn. And we do not want to kill these guys out of order, so make sure that you don't kill unless the order is given. Wooter and Intrepid Bearer on trash. Okay, the giant's at 50%, and the dragon's at about 25%. Giant's 50. Now they're both about the same right now. Keep working them back and forth. So if they're prepped, kill the lies pair. Kill the lies pair. Okay, great. Now we're going to do the confusion pair next. Bolo's going to peel off and go get the truthful one out of our hair. And he's just going to pull the truthful one across to the other side and out of our way, while we work on the confused pair.
Oh, the confused dragon is still following me.
I'm going to get him off you. I got him.
I think I got the truthful one.
There is a
Yep,
death
truthful
timer
one's
on
on
hard,
the-
by the way. Confused Dragons at 60%. Confused Giants at 40. Dragons at 20. Giants at 15. They are prepped. Kill the confused pair. Dragon's dead. Giant's dead. Good job. We're gonna do the last pair now, the silence pair. The silence dragon is on the Storm Reaver, so we'll need to pull him off. You can range him off or send somebody over to intim him, which I'm gonna do. The Storm Reaver's fighting for us now, so don't worry about him. Okay, the dragon's at about 60. And the giant's at 20. Dragon's at 40. Okay, I think they're prepped. Go ahead and kill them. Kill the final pair. Great. Good job. So that's the 3 pairs. They're all dead. Now we need to kill the crystal. At this point in the raid, as long as your Truthful One tank is solid, this is free time right now. If you have dead people that are on timer, just don't even kill the crystal. The crystal is going to ping you. It's not going to do much. This is the point. This is the part where you can regroup. You can raise everybody. You can rebuff. Whatever you need to do. There's no sense of urgency at this point in the raid. You can sit here all day long if you want to. But look up and see the Doomsday device up there, the Prism of Ages. You need to DPS that down. Okay, the crystal is dead. And now there's going to be some dialogue. And the Truthful One's going to charm the Storm Reaver. So from the rest of the raid, I want everybody to stay away from the Storm Reaver. Get far away from the Storm Reaver. So everybody will be DPSing the Truthful One. Attack him from behind or from the side. You know, Bolo will tank him and hold him, and I'm going to tank the Storm Reaver. Okay, everybody should just be working on the Truthful One, DPS and the Truthful One. Remember, when the Truthful One gets to 70% health, the undead dragons are going to appear. Mickey's going to kite them around. You're going to kill them in the same order: Lies, Confused, Silence. So you'll peel the Lies one off. While Mickey kites the other two, you'll kill the Lies one. And then you'll peel off the Confusion one and then the Silence one. Once they're dead, you'll go back to the Truthful One. So I'm just using a 33% absorption item right now. I don't have the block energy epic past life is really nice. But I don't have that on this tune. This tune doesn't really have past lives. It's like 2 favorite soul past lives and that's it. No epic past lives, no iconic past lives. Okay, the undead undead dragons are up. Pull them away from the Truthful One. Everybody off the Truthful One and kill the undead dragons. The Lies one first.
You got people attacking all of them, so they're pulling off at me.
Oh, I hear you. Everybody should be on the Lies dragon. So I'm keeping the Storm Reaver facing the wall away from the party so he doesn't shoot the boom across to you guys. Just as an FYI, if you guys want to look over and see what I'm doing.
Boy, sure we're taking your time, Mickey.
Jesus.
Lies is
Going
down.
first.
Okay, work on the Confused one next.
I'm actually an unyielding sentinel because of the raid last night and I forgot. So I have the commanding presence.
I had them all initially, but it broke off after 2 seconds. It's all good though.
The Storm Reaver can toss you. So if you have a way to get back quickly. If he, like right there, he did the
Alright.
boom when he was
I'll
facing
baby
away,
drive
he
you to
tossed me and did the boom. That can be really dangerous. So you can hit people.
First one's about 15%.
Storm Reaver is about the same. Call it out too, because I don't want to take.
10%,
Okay, I don't want to kill mine by accident.
5%.
Liver.
Go ahead and take him down. Switch to the
Yeah.
switch to the Reaver as soon as the truth goes down.
First one's down. Kill the Reaver. Kill the Reaver.
Great job, guys.
Alright.
That's it. 4 pairs of giants and dragons. Anybody have any questions about this raid or anything that we've done tonight?
Is there a specific reason for the order of killing the pairs?
That's a great question. So it has to do with their special abilities and how the special abilities can interfere with things. And I'm so used to doing it in that order that, you know, it's just become, that's just what you do, you know. So I can't remember exactly why we were doing it that way.
That's good. Just so there's a reason then.
There is a reason, yeah. So the lies pair, it has to do with what their ability is, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, that's why. It's because of the abilities and basically like the degree to which their abilities can interfere with things. You take out the most threatening pair first, or the most problematic pair first, which is the lies pair, and then the confusion pair, and then the silence pair. You can read up on the wiki, it'll tell you what they do. Alright, I'm going to put these heroic commendations of heroism up for roll. By the way, folks, these commendations of heroism are used to upgrade your caught in the web loot and loot from this raid as well as crafting the epic dragon armors that come from this pack. And this is the best raid to farm these out of. Caught in the web, you're not guaranteed to get any, but in Fall of Truth, you're guaranteed to get 1 on normal, D2 on hard, and D2 plus 1 on elite. Okay, got Commendations of Valor, D555. The 2 high rolls will win, and the low roll will win as well. The 2 highs will win 2 each, and the low roll will win 1. Okay, it looks like Elenia got the high, so here's 2 for you. And
Thank you very much.
the next, you're welcome. The next highest is Renar with 340. That's 2 for you. And then the low roll is Ziggs with 56. And that's 1 for you, Ziggs.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Guys, it was awesome having you again. We got a couple more events before we've worked through every raid in the game, and then we're going to start them all over and do them all again. I'll post details for the next one Monday. Do you have any final questions before we conclude tonight's event? Alright guys, thanks for coming, and have a great night. Don't forget to turn it in. Live
Thank
streamers.
You too.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. Live streamers, if there are any final questions, let me know. I'm going to read through to see if there are any questions. Take care, guys. Looking for items with slots. That's what I'm most interested in. Heart seeds it is. Live streamers, I'm going to shut down the live stream now, but I'm going to keep watching the chat. The chat will stay up. And thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning out now, there'll be another one next Saturday.